Hey everybody, welcome to the Dad Challenge podcast. My name's Josh. Today we are talking about a mashup of multitudes of things that are happening right now in the world of this world, I guess, that I talk about a lot. How you doing, Gus? And come say hi. Come say hi. Come say hi. Come here. Come here. Up. Come say hi. Who's a good boy? You want to say hi? Say hi. Go. What are you doing? What are you doing? You want to say hi? Do you want to dance? Hey, you want to dance? Oh, the good boy. Okay, let's go. So those multitudes of things are Katie Sorensen is being charged. If you don't know anything about Katie Sorensen, head back and watch my video I did on her. She was an influencer telling a story about how her kids were attempted kidnapping at a store and it was just like a big giant bullshit lie, and I called it out. That's crazy. We're going to talk about Josh Duggar. I've never talked about the Duggars on here, but I need to talk about the Duggars. The problem with the Duggars, the problem with this world of influencing, family influencing, fam-fluencing, douche-fluencing, whatever you want to call it. It's all bad. And it always, I've never heard a story of this type of world that ended up good. From dance moms, Duggars, Kate and 8 plus 8 and Jate, and Kate and John plus 10 or 12 or whoever they are, Kate and 8 plus 8. All these people. All of them, their kids end up being screwed up. Nothing ever good comes from any of this stuff. So we're going to talk about that. Plus a couple other things today. Just some other stuff going on. Some funny stuff, some what the hell stuff, and all that kind of stuff. Before we get to that, guys, I don't know if you knew this, but if you are a member of my channel, you get to see this. I won't show you too much, but you get to go into a 3D scan of my studio where all these little dots, little videos in there. You can click it. You can take a little tour of my studio, what happens. I don't want to show you too much because I want to give it away, but if you are a member or a Patreon, you get access to these behind the scenes things that I do. I don't do very much. And I often, maybe once or twice a week, I'll release a video early for my Patreons and my YouTube members. So if that sounds interesting to you, go ahead and do that. If not, then don't do that. Okay? I don't care. I'm just glad that you're here. And hey, if you're a YouTube member, you get cool emojis and shit. Throw up your emojis, everybody. And while you do that, let's dance.
Yeah, baby.
Woo! Tiana Weatherden. Patreon. So close. I've got a new game coming, because this game sucks, but that's coming soon, so you're gonna like it. YouTubers!
Yeah, baby.
Maria Gabriella, this one's for you. Oh, it was close. Let's go! It's Sunday. It is what it is. I like doing daily videos, and I think I'm going to be doing more videos just because I like doing this. And so my wife starts her clinicals this week, so I get 2 full days off with the kids. I got to walk them through school and do all that stuff, but it means I'm home for 2 full days extra a week, which means more videos for you. Maybe do some question and answers. Oh, the Mormon series is going to be fire. We keep doing that. I'm so excited about the Mormon series. Jordan McKay, if you don't know, head back to Friday's video and watch our video on Mormons. They're fresh apostates who are just willing to talk about the church and their experience, and they grew up in it, and so they have a lot of wisdom about it. It is a great series, and that's going to be continuing. But anyway, let's get into Katie Sorensen right away. So Katie Sorensen released a video that went viral a little while ago, 4 or 5 months ago, and she was sitting in her car. She's crying, fake crying, about talking about this idea that she was at a Michael's and some people were following her around and going to kidnap her kids, and she went to her van and it got crazy. The story was harrowing. She remembered all the tiny little details. I'm pretty sure I called it out as a lie, but I wanted to give her the benefit of the doubt because I don't want to be like, oh, you're such a liar, but she was a liar. And then it came out that the couple came out into the public and said, this is a racism. This is crazy. You can't just do this to people. We were not there to do that. They thought because they alleged that because they were wearing a Black Lives Matter hoodie, you know, Katie was probably targeting them for that. I don't know. It was a bullshit lie from the beginning. Now, Katie Sorensen has been charged over the Michaels kidnapping claims. And so this is in BuzzFeed, our favorite news source. But let's read it. Let's go together. Let's talk about the dangers of trying to go viral and what people will do. These momfluencers, what they'll do to be famous. And again, we talk about this whole channel is almost dedicated to the outright lies and bullshit that family vloggers are. Okay, the fakery, what they'll do to be famous, the lies that they'll go through. Look at Bits of Bish, just literally hopping around Hawaii right now to avoid being called out. There might have been so much pressure on Bits of Bish for her lies that they might actually move to Hawaii. But what they can afford is not going to be good, right? They might have to move into a cardboard box on the beach, but they might, because of the amount of pressure and the lies that they've tied themselves up in, might actually move to Hawaii. I still don't believe it, but they're bullshit liars. And we're going to talk about that a little while. And we're going to talk about it in future videos, obviously, because right now they're in Oahu or something for a week because their next rental's not ready. And they're just going to rent exorbitant amounts of money and blow exorbitant amounts of money renting so they don't get called in their lie. These people will do anything. Jess Pham. Now, I was talking about her daughter's doing it. Her 10-year-old daughter is going to start vlogging, right? Jess Pham will talk about her threesomes. You got the Weisslife, who are willing to expose their daughter's bra sizes and measure them on camera and talk about periods. 8 passengers. Basically, the grossest parents of all time, talking about their kids shaving their legs, acne, exposing all the secrets. You got Ace Family, who is just, he's a douche, and that's gross. Right? We're just talking about things. Momfluencers and family fluencers will do anything to get famous. So comes back to Katie Sorensen, who went viral, but for the wrong reasons. Because everybody was like, oh, this is such a crazy a harrowing tale of almost kidnapping. Shannon Rose did the same damn thing. Kendall Rich did this, where she took a photo of a guy behind her who's taking a photo of them and said this guy was going to kidnap my child. And then nobody ever calls the damn police except for Katie. And the fact that she did that messed her up. And this is why they don't call the police, because it's a bullshit lie. They're willing to tell you on camera, but they're not willing. But she actually called the police. So let's read this. A parenting influencer has been charged with giving false information to police after going viral last year by claiming in a series of Instagram videos that her children were nearly kidnapped at a craft store. Katie Sorensen has been charged with 2 misdemeanors in the incident. Spokesperson for the Sonoma County District Attorney's Office confirmed BuzzFeed News her next court date will be May 13th. I wonder if that's going to be televised. Maybe we'll do a live stream. Sorensen's tale of barely escaping a pair of kidnappers at a local Michaels store in Northern California blew up on social media in December after she posted on her Instagram account, Motherhood Essentials, which has been changed to Motherhood Essentials _ Super ridge there, Katie. In 2 Instagram videos, Sorensen told her audience that she had been the victim of an attempted kidnapping a week prior. She claimed a couple had followed her. Yeah, we know this. Blah, 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 blah. In December, Vega Martinez's daughter, Isaiah Gonzalez, told BuzzFeed News her mom and stepdad have 5 children between them and her 2 grandchildren. Her stepdad works in a community as a UPS driver. Gonzalez said that she was horrified at the allegations against her parents, who say they were shopping and probably speaking about their own grandchildren, not Sorensen's kids. Now they're talking about, she was like, I overheard them talking about my kids, and like she was scared for, you know what, in the end, I honestly believe that if they were talking about this stuff, that Katie Sorensen just probably capitalized on the conversation she heard, because she might have heard it, but then in her own mind, influencer mind, they're trying to figure out, how can I make this into content, right? Here's the thing about momfluencers and family influencers, okay? They're always looking for content. And you know why? Because their content is shit. Look at It's Our Life, okay? Literally every single day. Here's what we ate for breakfast. Oh, now we're going to Starbucks. Now we're going to Disney, and then we're going to Target. That is every video. And they give you some clickbait shit. Oh, someone died in their family and it was like a goldfish, and they tell you in 30 seconds of the 15-minute video, they'll tell you at the end it was a goldfish that died, right? Everybody's looking for content. There's only so much bullshit you can put out there, and then when something happens to them, like Our Life is a perfect example of clickbait, and the LeBrants, same thing. There was a fire in their area, and they capitalized on it, saying we had to flee, and they didn't. They will lie to you in order to get that clickbait, because a viral video makes you a lot of money. Okay, if you give a video that has 1 million hits, I'm not kidding you. You could easily make $40,000 to $50,000 on YouTube with a 30-minute video that has over 1 million hits. That is a lot of money, okay? That's more than some people make in 1 year in the US. More than a lot of people make, okay? They make that in one video if they go viral, okay? So it's important for them to have good content, or it's important to have clickbait content or content that is different because their shit is boring, okay? Bits of Bish is the same. Her shit was getting too boring. She's like, we're moving to Hawaii, by the way, and there's no lead up to it. It was all bullshit lie. They just wanted to go on an extended vacation during COVID and not get called out for it, which is, it's going to be worse for them in the end, okay? And they left their damn dog. Ugh. You've got family influencers like Sakona Jolie's and John Jolie, whatever his name is. He's now coming out as transgender or whatever, a non-binary, whatever, wearing like TikTok tights, and like he is dressing their kid up in makeup, and they're creating another Desmond is Amazing. The family influencer culture is getting crazy and very scary. And if we don't do something about it soon, if YouTube doesn't do something, Instagram, it's going to get even worse because people are starting to wake up to this stuff. And so these family influencers are forced into doing crazier. They're getting more provocative because they're losing their views and they got to change it. So Sakona Jolie's, that's all for provocativeness. You don't ever paint your 7-year-old girl in the amount of makeup they're putting on their boy. Okay, you don't do that. Okay, you dress is fine. Let them do it. Do it in private. Okay, we're gonna have another. We'll talk about that this week again because Conan Jolie's are driving me bananas. Okay, but Sorensen had to do this because she's like, I only got like 10,000. I don't know. She didn't have very many subscribers, and she jumped up by 80,000 subs when this thing dropped. So of course, the truth always comes out. The truth always comes out, especially on the internet. The internet's forever. So Katie Sorensen gets charged, and she's got May 13th as her thing. Top comment. I'm guessing this wasn't the type of viral fame she was expecting when she concocted the story. Nope. Here's the problem, everybody. When it comes to family influencers and family influencers, PPP loans, there are people that are going to be arrested. There are people that are going to have to pay that back, and they're getting scared. When I did the Micah video on the PPP video, they took 2 PPP loans. Then she called the police on me. People are wondering, dumbasses are wondering, it didn't even happen. Some people are trying to call me out that didn't even happen. Here are some receipts for you, just in case you were wondering. Okay, yeah, the police did call me, and those are like, some people are saying, well, maybe Micah wasn't the one who called. Maybe, but he had her information. He said this was her. She called me from Ohio, so I don't know what to tell you. So the police called me and said that someone called them named Micah and said, are you going to do videos about them? And maybe some people were saying, oh, maybe she's going to sue you. Maybe, we'll see. But I'm telling you, look what the Stoffers did. Okay, their channel was like, I don't know, 27,000 or some low number, 80,000. Let's get benefit of doubt. Maybe they had 100,000. Okay, it's pretty good. Adopted H from China, 700,000. James Stoffer Garage channel exploded because of it. They bought houses. They bought 2 extra properties and another house. 2 Range Rovers and a BMW. They went to Bali. They bought Cartier bracelets. They did crazy things. They went the depths of adopting a kid from China with problems that they likely thought was terminal and had their fans pay for the adoption. To garner that, look how amazing we are. Family influencers need to stop. We need to make this disgusting. Oh, you're a family influencer? Ooh, yuck, right? We need to stop them from doing this. So Katie, I think with Katie Sorensen, the conversation is happening that people are starting to wake up to, like, you'll do anything for fame. You got Kendall over on TikTok now doing like political stuff, and she doesn't care, but they're doing whatever they can do to stay relevant. So Kendall goes to Disney and says we're being escorted out, and then she said later it was a prank or whatever, and maybe it was, but I don't think it was. I think she saw the ratio she was getting, and so they said no, we were just going to drop our kid off for dance or some shit. And I'll obviously cover that video this week as well. There's so much going on. It's just ramping up now because the conversation we're having here is starting to pass over into theirs. And you got people like Aaron Williams came out this week with a statement that says, I'm not going to put my kids on as much anymore. They're not going to be the central focus if they want to do it when they're older and they can consent. So congratulations to effing Aaron Williams, okay? This conversation, no matter what people come in, oh, what are you doing? You're not doing anything. Do you know how many families have started taking their kids off of YouTube because of this conversation? Not just me, okay? I don't want to take credit for it because people, look, I'm the one who's basically doing it every day, but you got Sloan, you got Def, everybody's covering this stuff, T-Spill, everybody covers these things, and these family influencers are actually watching this, okay? I know of at least 5 who've reached out to me and said, we watch you every day. They might not agree with everything, but they think it's entertaining, and then they're starting to wake up to it. They're starting to realize how dangerous it is for the kids. Why are we waiting for someone to be murdered? Okay? Why do people want to put their families on the internet for this? I mean, is this more important? Is money really more important than your kids' safety and their privacy? To these people, it is, and that's sick. That's scary. Okay? Rant. It's rant day. So, okay. Let's move into Duggar. Okay, I don't know a ton about the Duggars. I remember watching a couple episodes when I was younger. I think the channel started in 2008. They came on TLC. They started talking about, I don't know if they were 17 kids and counting or 16 at that point. It's called 19 Kids and Counting now. I guess every season they had another kid. They were basically, except for John and Kate plus 8, they were like the catalyst for family vlogging. Then you got Little People Small World, or Small People Little World. I don't know what it's called. And then you got these people making tons of money, and then YouTube comes along and they're like, well, we can do this ourselves. A lot of them wanted to go on these shows. Hey, come watch our family. And then they found that YouTube was a place to make a few $1 million on their own and just do it themselves. And that's what happened. This thing started blossoming and turning into like $1 billion industry. We Agency is one of those agencies that signs on all these families, okay? We Agency is like a catalyst. They teach these people what to do. They get them the advertisements. They tell you if you use your kids, you're going to get more. We Agency is disgusting because that is the agency that will allow them to like make billions of dollars, if not millions, if not billions of dollars off these family vloggers, and like perpetuates this. And they don't give a shit about the kids. They only care about this. Duggar, it's one of the origins of this stuff. I think if not the origin. I'm not sure who came first. Was it Johnny K plus 8 or these guys? But these guys came out and they're fundamental Baptists or fundamental Christians. They're not Mormons, but they're fundamental in their faith, right? Fundies. If you don't know what a fundamental Christian or a fundamental believer is, they are like the fringe elements of religion. They believe in like no condoms, no birth control, obviously. Okay, I don't even know. You know what I mean? It's like a door down there now. Did they just get a door, like a cat door installed? Like, it's like a creak. When it's done, there's too many. That's too many kids. Let's not pretend that having 19 kids is not stupid. It's stupid. Do you know why it's stupid? Because there's no possible way you can give devoted love and attention to 19 kids. Likely your older kids are raising your younger kids, and that's kind of what happened here. We're going to talk about Josh Duggar, who has been arrested now for child P charges. Faces 20 years in prison or something, like $250,000 fine. I don't know. He faces a lot of shit. Now, we have to come back to the origins of the Duggars. And I just brought up an article. What do you need to know about the Duggars, okay? So in the nearly 6 years since 19 Kids and Counting was canceled by TLC, Josh Duggar has faced a series of controversies that have rocked him and his famous family. Josh Duggar is the oldest Duggar. Okay, he is the one who was accused of a lot of things against his sister and other kids when he was younger. No excuse for any of this stuff, but we are going to talk about the idea of purity culture and these fundy Christians who think that they talk about sex being this super crazy, dangerous thing. In Mormon culture, it's akin to murder, right? Fundies believe the same thing, like sexual purity is like the thing they hold highest. It's so weird. And then it creates people like this guy. Likely he was already a predator anyway, he was being groomed to be a predator because they view sex as something sinful. And so when he has that, he has to secretly, or, you know, I don't know. That's why I think in the fundamental churches, it'd be interesting to see the numbers of deviants who come from fundamental sects of our culture. It'd be really interesting to see that. Look at the Catholic Church, right? Vows of celibacy, dumb. It's not even biblical. And look what happened, right? Attracts those types of men to the cloth who then do those things, right? Don't want to talk about that though. Oh, we're talking about it. On Thursday, the eldest son of Jim Bob, just really. And Michelle Duggar was taken into custody in Arkansas, where he's currently being held in jail without bond. Good. A representative for the U.S. Marshal Service confirmed to people that he was arrested by Homeland Security. Weird. Online jail records do not indicate what charges he was arrested on, but we know he's been booked on child P charges. So, unfortunately for Josh, this isn't the first scandal that's made headlines since he rose to fame on TLC over a decade ago. In 2008, TLC introduced audience to the lives of Jim Bob and his wife Michelle and the 19 children. This is for people who don't know this. It's good, because I need to know this. Along with Josh, the couple are parents to Jana John, David Jill, Jessica Ginger, Joseph, Josiah, Joanna, Jedediah, Jeremiah, Jason James, Justin Jackson, Johanna, Jennifer, Jordan Grace, and Josie. Yeah. The reality series followed the conservative family taking audiences inside their Arkansas home and personal lives, including Josh's wedding to Anna Duggar. But after 9 seasons on air, the show was canceled in the wake of Josh's molestation scandal, which is gross. So here's the scandal. 2015, news broke that Josh had allegedly molested 5 underage girls as a teenager. 2 of his sisters, Jill and Jessa, came forward as 2 of the victims, insisting they had already moved on and forgiven their brother. Gross. In a statement to People at the time, Josh said, 12 years ago, as a young teenager, I acted inexcusably, for which I am extremely sorry, deeply regret. I hurt others, including my family and close friends. I confessed to my parents, who took several steps to help me address the situation. This is where the world got upset. First of all, jail, okay, at minimum. But they got to get away with this. People talk about this world of like white privilege and all that stuff, and we can roll our eyes a little bit at it and say, well, but this is crazy. When you have money and fame and are white and Christian, this guy just got to, like, my dad sent me to my parents arranged for me and those affected by my actions to receive counseling. Oh, well, can you imagine the copy? Oh, he's getting counseling? Good to go. Have yourselves a great day there. Here's a little paper. Can I have your autograph? Right? It's stupid. But however, the reports revealed that Josh's 3-month stay in treatment program at the age of 14 in Little Rock was not run by a certified counselor, but by a family friend of the Duggars, who was a home remodeling business. So he just had to go do hard labor and probably get paid for it. But apparently Josh touched them inappropriately when they were sleeping, describing it as one of the darkest times our family's ever gone through. Jim Bob said he and Michelle put safeguards in place to make sure nothing else happened. Oh, that's nice. Okay, here's the thing. Once you've done that to your children, and I come from this type of world, okay, and it's very close to my family, that could ruin people's lives. And if you let this guy just continue in your family, at that point, like, let's be real. As a dad, that would be a hard situation. Let's not pretend it wouldn't be the hardest thing you had to deal with. But if that's happening in my family, bye. Okay? Bye. I love you, but you're leaving. You're going to a military school, you're going to counseling, you're going somewhere, or you're going to get help, and you're going to stay there until we can confirm that you got the help that you needed. Not just counseling, going to build houses for 3 months, okay? I'm sorry. If there's a danger that my other children we put in because of this person, that person is gone. That may not be a popular opinion, but that's what's happening. Okay, so we watched him like all the time, said Jim Bob. I took him to work with me. We just poured our life into him. Well, that's nice. Here's the problem. You couldn't anyway, because you had 19 kids, and this kid is like struggling through everything, and there's no way you can see the signs because you don't know your children. Even the same with Not Enough Nelsons. They have like, 20 kids? Some insane 19, whatever. They have so many kids. It is irresponsible to have this many kids. It's even more irresponsible to put them on the internet and TV for their life without their informed consent. And that's even more irresponsible to keep that child that is abusing your other kids in that home. Okay? And it's even 10 times worse because you're making this all the while doing it. And being a fundy Christian, a person who they believe in Jesus, they absolutely do. But how do you square that with exploiting your children for money? How do you square that? The fame comes over everything else. The money and fame. I would argue that the Duggars are not Christians. They use that. They think they are, but they're not. Okay, for real, they're not. Kelly from Fox News did an interview with Jill and asked whether they considered themselves to be victims. Jessa said that while their brother did was very wrong, she said she wanted to speak up against people calling him a child M, Pluto, or R. I'm like, that is so overboard and a lie, really. I mean, people get mad at me for saying that, but their kids are even groomed to stand up for their brother who molested them. Oh my God. Okay, you guys don't see this? That is the craziest thing about this entire story. If your kids have been abused by your brother, your responsibility as a parent is now to remove that danger from them. Except those kids came forward and said, "Oh, just in my sleep. It wasn't a big deal." Can you imagine? I would be like, the world should have been more angry. Okay, but they really were. But again, so Josh met Anna. So let's go into Josh's life a little bit more. He met Anna, which is his wife, at a Christian homeschooling convention. Nice. That must have smelled nice. When she was a teen. The pair began courting and wed 2 years later in September. Just 3 months after saying I do, Anna and Josh, who ran his own car dealership in Springdale, married life has been great. It's definitely quieter than being in a house with so many kids. When I went to go to the grocery store, it feels strange only having one shopping cart. Okay, that's nice. A lot of people ask, Anna, why would you marry a guy that has molestation charges? This guy abuses children. Why would you marry someone and then have 7 kids, 8 on the way? A little more than a year after Josh and Anna tied the knot, they welcomed their first child, they have so many kids. And if this guy has a problem being a Pluto, he needs to not be around children. This guy has kids, okay? And has already proven to be that type of person. And now, obviously comes forward that he's downloading stuff to his computer. Again, August 2015, Gawker reported that Josh had a site on Ashley Madison. What is with Christian guys on Ashley Madison? I don't understand this. How dumb are you? Look at Sam and Nia. He's like, oh yeah, I had an Ashley Madison account. I didn't actually physically have an affair with my wife, but you know, she's forgiven me, God's forgiven me, let's move on. Sam and Nia, assholes, okay? Stupid. Josh ultimately confessed having a pornography addiction and cheating on his wife in an apologetic statement. So he cheated on his wife and had a pornography addiction. Now, some of these people might say that pornography is considered cheating on their spouse. I don't think so. But if your wife decides that she doesn't want you looking at pornography or vice versa, and they think that's a line that they have drawn, then it is. You have to respect that boundary. But here's the problem with growing up in a fundy church or a church in general, is that they view sex as like this. It's just, if you don't grow up in it, you don't understand it. But you like are scared of it. You're just like, you're told not to explore that stuff. Masturbation is a sin, all this kind of stuff. And then they get addicted to the stuff when they find it. If you have healthy conversations with your children about this type of stuff, Christian or not, religious or not, okay, it's only going to lead to healthier explorations of their bodies and no shame. When shame gets involved, that's when people start hiding stuff and becoming these types of people, okay? Shame buries people. Shame brings depression, anxiety, it brings secretness, it brings everything, and it just is bad for a family. Talk to your kids about this stuff. If you're in a Christian household, okay, you believe in Jesus and all these types of things, talk to your kids about this stuff. Stop telling people and kids that sex and masturbation is wrong, okay? Because it's only going to lead to this type of bullshit. All right. Anyway, he goes on. She stayed with him. Here's the thing that I hate about the Christian culture and women who have been cheated on, okay? It's only the women that are expected to forgive and move on and all this stuff. And if a wife cheats on her husband in a church, and this is only my experience, I'm not saying it happens all the time, like she's like a scarlet letter, like out, get rid of her, divorce her, go find another wife. But if a man cheats, it's like, oh, well, let's see what kind of redemption we can get out of this. She should forgive him, move on, all this stuff. It's such a two-sided thing. Women are treated like absolute second citizens in every church I've ever gone to or served at or worked at, okay? And I worked at non-denominational, very liberal, forward-thinking post-Christian churches. Women are still second. When they are treated badly or sinned against, it's like, oh, it's forgive. But when a dude is sinned against, it's like the scandal of the century, okay? He got to get away with it. Sam and Nia got to get away with it. Churches get it wrong. So anyway, let's get into it. Most recently, Josh faced a real estate lawsuit in 2019. In September of that year, 3-day jury trial was set for Josh, who was accused of fraud and is being sued for quite a quiet title and breaching a contract. According to court records, Josh lost the lawsuit because he missed the court date. Smart. Josh's place of employment, Arkansas car dealership, was also previously raided by Homeland Security as part of an ongoing federal investigation in November 2019, meaning he might have been downloading this stuff at his work computer. So possibly they might have found something and then got the warrant to raid his house. So let's get to the rest that just happened. Was reportedly arrested by U.S. Marshals Thursday in Washington County, Arkansas. According to BuzzFeed News, what he's been arrested for is currently unclear, but now we know that he's been arrested for child P on his computer, abuse of child P under 12. Like his photo here, I don't know if this is an old photo. No, this is a new photo. Look at his face. Is that someone who feels like remorseful for what he did? Or does it feel like someone who's got rich parents that can have really expensive lawyers? Right? If Jim, Bob, and Michelle are smart, they'd let this guy stay locked away for the 20 or 50 years he needs to be locked away for. His wife needs to move on. You know who suffers in this whole situation? The kids. Every single time. Not only did Jim, Bob, and Michelle's kids suffer because of what he did to them, his kids, his 8 kids, she's just announced being pregnant. Okay, 8 kids. Everyone's gonna suffer. They're gonna go to. Thank God they're probably homeschooled, so they don't have to be faced with ridicule of their peers. But these kids are forever famous because of what their dad did, and because of what their grandparents perpetuated by making them all famous without their consent. This is a life none of them are gonna want to lead when they get older. This is so scary. So Josh Duggar is a douche on the highest order and needs to be put in jail for 20 years, if not more. He's just going to continue to do this, right? Because he didn't get the counseling and the things he needed. Instead, they sent him off to work for one of their buddies. How are people allowed to get away with this stuff? This is mind-blowing to me. And they talk about only 2 of the 5 girls he did things to when he was a teenager were his sisters. So there was 3 out there. Likely all in this homeschool world. So yeah, we're not only going to talk about Mormons now, we're going to talk about the world of homeschooling and fundamental Christians, because that shit gets crazy and scary. We got to talk about the idea of what these homeschool parents do, what they're trying to protect their kids from, and then what ends up happening anyway. Like, do you homeschool your kids because you don't want them to learn about sex in high school, but then they do stuff like this? What is it that homeschooling does? And I'm not talking about smart, because kids who are homeschooled are really smart. Let's be real. But a lot of Christian parents, especially fundamental Christian parents, will homeschool their children because they don't want them having the influence of the school on them. But then stuff like this happens, right? So we are going to talk about that. So I will be bringing the Duggars in as I'm going to explore them. We're going to talk more about what is wrong with them, what's wrong with that whole culture, and we're going to go into it because it's bullshit. And they've made this mess. Jim Bob and Michelle, they created this mess. They allowed it to happen, and then they didn't even get him the help he needed. Because why? Because why? And then now look where they are. One of the most hated people on the internet. They're not Christian. I'm sorry. Everything they do is anti what Christ would have done, what Jesus would have told you to do. Okay? So, all right. A little bit of funnier news, I guess, not really, piss you off news. A good friend of mine who I really enjoy chatting with sent me this. Lunatic bride is scared her friend who had stillbirth would steal all the attention at the wedding. Gets dumped by the groom. You love to see it. This is karma. We love it. So, prepare to give up what's left of your faith in humanity. Losing a child is a devastating event, and in that difficult time, the love and support of your closest family and friends are paramount as you grieve. It's also a time when you realize who your friends are and who are heartless, selfish folks with an empathy. Eventually we're going to have to talk about this idea too of family vloggers using these types of things, stillbirth and all these types of things for views and clout and money. I know I've been really trying to avoid it because I know it's going to be a very, very tough topic to tackle. Okay. But I think I've got an idea of how we're going to tackle that. I've got someone I want to bring on and talk. I've been trying to get around for a while. Whatever. But we got to talk about that stuff and how inappropriate it is to put that out to the public, for money. So we will talk about that eventually. So this kind of segue into that. So one bride-to-be described as human trash bag and bridezilla by some of the internet proved that she has no morals when she asked her bridesmaid who recently had a stillbirth to not come to her wedding. The woman was afraid that her friend would steal her thunder with her sadness. Oh my God. Things escalated from there. Sounds fake? We wish. Unfortunately, it's all real. This is reported on boardpanda.com. A note of warning, dear pandas. The topic below is extremely sensitive, may not be for everyone. Trigger warning. Okay, obviously. An exchange between a bride-to-be and her grieving friend went viral for all the wrong reasons. Okay, so they've obviously, blocked out the names. So with my wedding, were you still coming? Because I was thinking maybe you shouldn't. I don't mean to be harsh, but I thought you'd be over what happened by now. Why do people like this exist? And why are they family vloggers? Just kidding. She's not. But people like this exist, okay? And this is narcissism to the highest order. And the people that we talk about in this channel, they are narcissists. If you don't see Micah doing something like this, yeah, I could absolutely see Micah doing something like this. But you cried today just because some lady had a baby. It's just a bit dramatic, and a lot of people don't know yet because apparently you aren't ready to tell people. I think if you don't tell people, you shouldn't come. I'm trying to be as nice about it as I can, but everyone will be asking why you aren't pregnant, and I don't want them distracted from making me feel special. Holy shit, lady, you are disgusting. That is a swear pillow moment. What happened sucks, but I thought you'd had long enough to get over it so it wouldn't be a problem. Maybe you could announce it on Facebook so people know? Okay, first of all, just spell no properly. And then the person writes, okay, I need a minute to process what you just said to me. Don't take it the wrong way, douche, Bridezilla says. You know I'm right, and you just need to move on. I want my wedding to be about me. I don't want it ruined by you, no offense. You would do the same. If you don't want to announce it, then just don't come. If you know someone like this in your life, stop knowing them. So the lady writes, let me get this straight. You don't want me to be at your wedding because the fact that my baby died might ruin your day. I just want to make sure I have this right, because if that's what you're saying, that is just super messed up, dude. As in, don't worry about me being at the wedding because we won't be friends. So she's saying, okay, we're not friends. So I want to be sure I understand. I mean, that's not how I said it. Okay, so what did I get wrong? You're twisting my words. No, she's not. You're straight up said that, bish. I just want to be the most important person on the day. What about, why? Okay, I get it. But why can't this whole thing with Bridezillas and everybody's my day, there's a guy there too, right? I mean, this needs to stop. We need to make weddings this type of thing, not cool anymore. Like, let's just go have a barbecue. You know what the best wedding would be? Here you go. And I've said this before. All you can eat Chinese buffet and a movie. Some booze. Just do something simple and not this bullshit. Anyway, and if people see you're not pregnant, they will ask, and then it will take the attention off of me. So this, I just thought you could announce it now by the wedding, no one will talk about it. I don't think it's such a hard thing to do. Oh my God, this lady had a stillborn. Okay, she had a miscarriage. And she's like, just tell everybody, because don't want anybody asking questions. And then the lady writes, you know what? You enjoy your wedding without me. I hope our friendship is worth all the attention you so desperately need. You giant trash pile of a human. Amen. I would have went way farther than that and just said, look, Bish, f*** you. You were being silly, but okay. Wow. Like, what is wrong with wanting to make sure my day is about me? If you think that we can't be friends because I want to be the most important person on the day and don't want people thinking about you at all times, then I guess we can't be friends. Well, yeah. But you're being really selfish. Holy shit. You're being really selfish. I'm pissed. Oh my God. But you're being really selfish. It's been 2 months now. How much time do you really need? It's not like you knew her. It's not like you knew her. She just said to this lady, it's not like you knew your stillborn daughter. This person wrote this in a text message to her friend. And I just don't want to... And I just don't want the focus to be on you. So I think you announcing it is a fair way anyone can focus on you now and not later on my day. Yeah, we're done. I cannot believe you. You think I care about attention on me? She was my baby. How dare you? Seriously glad I found out you were trash now, so I don't waste any more time speaking to you. Tell him I'll see him at the divorce party. Then the bride later on battled it out with her other friends on Facebook. You are so pathetic that you had to come here to play the victim. You and I both know she can't even spell. This person should be outcast. You effing pathetic. See you next Tuesday. You left without you being sad all the time. Who would want that to ruin their day? Oh my God. Bet most people here actually agree with me. You're just pretending because they feel sorry for your pathetic ass. Looks like we found the bride, folks. Are you effing kidding? Don't know if it's actually you or the troll, but I suggest you delete this and move on with your life. You're tragic. Why would I delete this? Just exposing you for the pathetic cunt you are. My something fiance even fell for your shit. And yeah, it's me. I'm not going to let you post and make me look bad, you biatch. If I were a troll, if I were a troll, would I know that you admitted at lunch that you wish you died instead of your baby? How effing sad is it that you deserve your dead baby, you dumb cunt? Oh my God. This person is disgusting. What the F is wrong with you? F off. If you knew her, you'd be saying the same. All she's been doing lately is crying about her dead baby. So effing annoying. The wedding got canceled and the groom-to-be dumped his heartless fiancée. It is heavily implied on the internet that the bride's message to her grieving friends played a major part in the breakup. The woman also went all out and tried to defend herself to her friends on Facebook, showing that her emotional range of empathy is less than that of a teaspoon. It's devastating to read. The groom left his fiancée after he heard about what happened. So the wedding got canceled, groom-to-be dumped a heartless trash bag. Oh my gosh. That didn't end very happy, but I'm going to say that the karma ended for her, that her husband, her fiancé dumped her. Thank God that this person will not get married. I can't imagine being so heartless that that's what you write to your friend who... Wow. Anyway, that ended really sad. But today's an important topic about what's going on in this world of family influencers who will do whatever it takes to be famous, and then what it does. I mean, we don't have to look too much farther anyway from what the detrimental effects of putting your kids in the public eye has on you. Like, I'm not saying that everybody's going to be a Josh Duggar, okay? But at the same time, the fundamental Christians and all these Mormons who are vloggers, these kids that grow up, look at Chad from 8 Passengers. That kid likely, jerked off or whatever to porn and was sent to a freaking camp for 7 months in the wilderness and almost died. Then came home and then they made him sleep on a beanbag for 7 more months. That kid is now currently about to go on his mission with Mormons. They have indoctrinated that kid beyond anything. Okay, we're going to talk more about that this week, about Mormons and the mission and what the heck's going on. We're going to bring Chad into it from 8 Passengers and talk about what he's about to embark on and what his life has been like, because it's been crazy. okay? Fundamentalists, Christians, Mormons, and all these vloggers who are raising kids in these environments, plus putting them on TV for the rest of their life and giving their privacy and everything away, that is a double-edged sword that is only going to cut the kids. Okay? It's only going to hurt them. Parents all make the money. When this shit's over, and Jess Van talks about paying her kids and all this stuff, and all these people pay their kids and all this stuff, when this is over, and it's going to be over soon, what are you going to do next? All your kids are going to suffer. Not only are they going to have their entire world on the internet forever, okay? You're going to be losing all of your income, and you're going to have to find real jobs, okay, which none of you are talented at anything, and then your kids are only going to suffer in the end. We got to stop this bullshit, okay? Josh Duggar needs to be in prison for the rest of his life. And something tells me that his parents, having the wealth that they have because of what they did to create that wealth, are going to pay for his exit from prison. I hope that's not the case. We're going to follow this closely. We're going to talk about the Duggars and the problem with the Duggars a lot more. Why are family vloggers so Christian? What is it that correlates Christianity, Mormons, and all these people to create family vlogs? Because they're like, look how pure we are. Yeah, you're so pure. Look at how pure all of you are. None of them are without blame, and none of them are pure. They're all disgusting. At least Jess Fam knows she's disgusting, and she talks about it. She doesn't claim to be pure. Freaking people. I get pissed. It is going to be a crazy week. We are going to attempt in every level to bring light to these people, especially Mormons and Christians in the fundamentalist, family vlogger world. Jordan Page, they got videos that they're talking about the Book of Mormon. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. It's going to be crazy. So, in order for my voice to grow, please, please, please subscribe to me on Facebook and Instagram. Okay? That helps me get better, bigger, I don't know, whatever. Doesn't matter. And take a deep breath with me. Whew, happy Sunday, everybody. I hope that you're amazing. Hope you have an incredible day. Hope you feel better. If you're feeling a little bit down or you're sore, or whatever the case may be from whatever, just feel better. And you look amazing. You're just incredible. Your hair looks beautiful. You guys are amazing, and just do things for yourself. Take a nice day and go for a walk. Self-care. Do the things you need to do. Watch 50 Shades of Grey or something. And just, you know what I'm saying? I hope that you guys have an incredible day, and I will actually see you tomorrow.